Okay, so carrying on, talking about the way that the film reflects a biblical worldview and also contradicts the biblical worldview. We see both of those perspectives within this film.
Yeah, this film reflects biblical worldview. I can tell this is Christ is all about love. I was wondering when he entered the church and priest came and tried to explain how the Christ died on the cross, because I was wondering why God did that, and the priest explained because Christ Jesus loves the world and us so much. That's why he just gave his life to us. So all about love. Yeah.
There was that strong Christ-centered moment and theme in the film then that was reflected in the biblical worldview. Also, though, unfortunately, Pi believes that, and he, the good part is he believes it and gets baptized and all of that kind of thing. But he also carries on believing in other religions. He still believes in Hinduism and Islam. So there was some, which we know contradicts the biblical worldview, where it says that Jesus is the only way to the Father.
Yeah.
So we see some biblical perspective in this movie, but also some contrary to biblical view. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
And also in the film, the characters unfold the theology of the film through what they do. I mean, Pi believes all these different religions, and he tries
speak to God in every circumstance he met. Even though on the boat, the winding and the water is falling down, and he always tried to speak to God, in air.
He was calling out.
Calling out. Help us, and all the way.
And he was even saying a few times things like, I surrender, I let go. He was kind of trusting in God, kind of also angry at God at some stages. So it makes me think of like Job in the Bible and David in some of the Psalms. He's trying to understand God and what God is doing and how it relates to him.
And also he has faith. He's living God. God is living God. God is existence. So he speaks. He spoke to God and
he definitely believes God's living and able to intervene, and which he kind of does when he's saved at the end. So it's interesting. And the worldview being proposed by the filmmaker. This was the part we kind of struggled with the most because there were so many different, as I said, viewpoints and theological messages that were within this film. So, but there was a kind of key point that we eventually came to. John.
Creation, which is when I was watching this movie. My eyes and my heart was really focusing on all the nature, heavens and earth, and the sky and sea. They reflect each other, the colors and animals and fishing. All this creation, his creation.
And those scenes where many of them throughout the film, where we see the sky reflected in the sea, the clouds. About that kind of thing. It's almost enhancing that sense of God being present, heaven coming to earth, and Pi's relationship with God is kind of strengthened in that image. And we even see the idea of man having dominion over creation, as Genesis says. At first, Richard Parker is hostile to Pi, and they compete for food and that kind of thing. And Richard Parker is kind of an aggressive animal on that boat, so they have to share. But Pi learns to train him, and they kind of, their relationship improves. They get on, they share food, that kind of thing, and their survival becomes dependent on each other. But Pi is in charge.